Good day, class. This time we're going to talk about simultaneous equation, which is the topic for module 9. And we're going to start our discussion with lesson 1. So for lesson 1, we're going to solve a system of equations or simultaneous equations in two unknowns. So two unknown lang sa siya. So meaning we have two variables, unknown variables with two equations. So as you can see, our first example, so gi-manifest niya because here we have two equations and we have two unknowns. The unknowns here are variable x and variable y. So in this module and in this lesson also, we're going to deal with two types of simultaneous equation. So again, when we say simultaneous equation, these are a collection of equations that are related to each other and comprise of either two or more variables. So simultaneous equation. And in some books, okay, ang uban nga mga kanang kuan libro, they also call this one as system of equation. System of equations. And then in this lesson class, we're going to talk about the two types of these equations. The first one is we have simultaneous linear equation. So when we say linear equation, the degree of the terms is equal to 1, or the degree of the variables is equal to 1. And we also have simultaneous nonlinear equation. So what are those nonlinear equations? So this is just a review of our kanang topic before katong polynomial equations. So when we say nonlinear equations, the degree of the polynomial is 2 or more, like quadratic, cubic, quartic, quintic, so on and so forth. So as you can see in our first example, this is a simultaneous linear equation because the degree of x is equal to 1, and the same thing with the degree of y. Now in this lesson, since we are dealing with system of equations in two unknowns and two variables, then we're going to use several methods. So daghay methods pag solve ani sa values for x and y, and ang kana ato makuha nga values for x and y, we're going to call that one as the solution. Okay, so solution sa atong simultaneous equation. Solution na siya. And we have I will going to introduce you three methods. So the first one is the method of substitution, followed by the method of elimination, and finally the graphical method. So let's start with the method of substitution. So we have here an example system of equation. This is linear equation. So we have x minus y is equal to 2 and 6x minus 5y is equal to 16. So the first step for the method of substitution is that we are going to choose kung asay mas simplified form wherein dili siya complicated. So example sa mga equation yang complicated, kana iyang coefficient kay medyo gamay of value. So here ang morag dili complicated og look forma is ang first equation, x minus y is equal to 2. So I'm gonna choose this one. So I'm going to write here x minus y is equal to 2. So here I'm going to solve one of the variables in terms of the other. So let's say I'm going to choose x. So in choosing x, I'm going to transpose this one on the other side in order to make this one as y plus 2. So this would serve as my first equation, equation 1. Now the second step is let's proceed to the second equation from the given. So in the second equation, we have 6x minus 5y is equal to 16. Now here, since we already have a value of x in terms of the other variable, then we can substitute that one to our second equation. Okay, let's do that. So we have 6, the x is y plus 2, minus 5y is equal to 16. Here, distribute 6, so we have 6y plus 12 minus 5y is equal to 16. So here, simplifying, that would be y, 6 minus 5y equals y, then transpose 12 on the other side. This is 16 minus 12, and y here is equivalent to 4. Now, since we already know the value of y, then we can substitute this one to equation 1. So that would be our third step. So for our third step, we have from equation 1, okay, from equation 1. So we have here x now is equals to y plus 2. So since y is equals to 4, that is 4 plus 2, this is equal to 6. So therefore, we have a solution na. So we can say that our solution, so to indicate, meaning this solution would be the value of our unknown variables, katong x and y. So therefore, our solution in terms of set builder or solution sets, that is 6 and 4. That is 6 for x, because that is for x pala. So x is 6. So x, and then y is equals to 4. Now you can also have this notation in terms of ordered pair. So for if you're going to rewrite this into ordered pair notation, that would be the same as representing a Cartesian coordinate or a coordinate point. Okay, so that would be x, that is 6, and then 4. So mara siya nag-indicate of points x and y. So mara siya, this is how you're going to write your solution. So pwede kaning sets or the ordered pair. Now, in order to verify that our solution is true, now gamiton to na itong checking. So we're going to check. Okay, we're going to check whether these two, x and y, that is 6 and 4, matches or proves our system of equations. So in checking class, you can choose either of the either of these two equations here. So you can choose equation 1 or equation 2. It's up to you. Anyways, ang pagproban is still the same. So I'm going to choose equation 1. Choosing equation 1, I have x minus y is equals to 2. Now, our x is 6, y is 4, that is equal to 2. Of course, 6 minus 4 is equal to 2, and 2 is equal to 2. So therefore, we now verify that the solution, okay, that the solution x equals to 6 and y is equals to 4 is true. So, sakto gid kaayo kay ato man diri na verify. And kamo lang bahala pag verify class using the second equation. Now, we can also ato po ni siya class ha. Pwede po ni siya ma-verify using the kanang graphing calculator. Yes, ato na siya ma-verify using the kanang any graphing software. So let's go to our Desmos, the online graphing calculator. Now if we're going to plug our system of equation, that is the first one is x minus y is equals to 2. The second is 6x, so 6x minus 5y is equal to 16. So what happens here is these two equations, the linear equations, intersects at this point. And what is this point? The point here is 6 and 4, and this 6 and 4 is our solution nga ato nakuha mathematically. So graphically ato would na prove. So therefore ang solution di ay is just the intersection of the equations, especially for two equations and two unknowns. Now if that is the case, then we can also interpret our solution. Okay, from solution we also need to interpret. Okay, interpret. So since we have only one solution, meaning makount lang to iyang number of solutions, in this case usara ordered paired 6 and 4, so therefore ang atong interpretation ani, we can say that the solution is consistent. Okay, consistent and independent. Independent. Why independent? Because we only have a definite value for our x and also y, that is 6 and 4. So consistency and independent. Actually, throughout this lesson, we can also met several kinds of interpretation. So this is the first of its kind, kaning consistent and independent, only for solution that is kanang definite iyang number of solutions. Kay if naman po case nga no solution na po ibang infinite iyang solution, so ato ra gyapon siya masugatan kanang after ani. Okay, so let's proceed to the second example. We have here x plus 4y is equals to 3, 2x minus 7y is equals to negative 24. So again, start with step 1. So I'm going to choose the first equation kaya I find it very simple. So I'm going to rewrite this one. So x plus 4y is equals to 3. I'm going to solve x in terms of the other variable y, transposing the second term into the right side. That would be 3 minus 4y. So now I already have my first equation, so this would serve as my equation 1. So we're going to proceed the second step. Second step, we are going to focus now on the second equation. So that would be 2x minus 7y is equal to negative and 24. Here, since na naman tayo value sa atong x from step 1, now we're going to substitute that one in our second equation. So it will now become 2 times 3 minus 4y minus 7y is equal to negative and 24. Here's distributing these two, so that would be 6 minus 8y minus 7y is equal to negative and 24. Here, simplifying further and transposing 6 on the right side, it will now become negative 15y equals to negative 24 minus 6. That would be negative 15y is equals to negative and 30. Divide both sides by negative 15. Our y will become y is equals to positive 2. So therefore, this is the value of our y. And in solving for the value of x, now let's proceed to step number 3, wherein we're going to substitute the values sa atong y to equation 1. So at siya ibalik. So we can say here from equation 1, so we have x is equals to 3 minus 4y, and then y is 2, that is 3 minus 4 times 2. That is 3 minus 4 times 2 is 8. Therefore, our x is equals to negative 5. So here, we have a definite solution. So we can say that our solution, but this time, gamit na lang tawagan. Gamit tag ordered pair nga pag-represent. So here in ordered pair, that is negative 5 and 2. So if we're going to interpret this one, we're going to interpret, okay, so ito siya interpret, this would be a consistent, okay, this would be a consistent and independent siya, okay, independent. Okay, definite man, like makount mo na tayo yung number of solutions, which is in this case Osara, negative 5 and 2. And actually you can also check this one, but let's just use the graphing software to verify kay mas of course precise kita siya o mas madali. But you can also check that one manually class just substitute the values of x and y back to our equation, and you can use either of the two. So let's graph again this one. So this would be x plus 4y equals 3. Second equation is 2x minus 7 2x minus 7y equals to negative 124. We're going to zoom this. So here our intersection, the point of intersection is negative 5 and 2, which matches our answer. Diba ang x na ito nakuha kay negative 5 and y nga ito nakuha is 2. So therefore, sakto ang ato ang solution and also its interpretation. Okay, so muna siya ato answer, solution, and the interpretation. Next, we're going to proceed the third example. So again, step 1 gihapon. Step 1, choose either of the two equations kung asa mas sayon sa ilaha i-manipulate. Here, I will choose equation 1, but again, remember, it's up to you. It's up your kung preferences. It's up to your styles. Kung nakailang style, then you can also do that one. So for me, mas ako nakita nga mas sayon i-manipulate ang equation 1. So I'm gonna choose equation 1. So this would now become 3x minus y is equal to negative 7. So here, I'm gonna transpose y on the other side and 7 on the other side, and also to become y positive. So we have y is equal to 3x plus 7. So this would serve as my first equation. Okay, first equation. So second step, punta na punta sa equation 2. That would be 6x minus 2y is equal to negative 2. So here, since we already have a value of y in terms of x, so we can substitute that one in our second equation. So second equation So here, this would be 6x minus 2 times 3x plus 7, that is equal to negative 2. Here, distribute negative 2. So distribute the minus 6x, then minus 14 is equal to negative 2. So here, this one, 6x minus 6x, this is 0, right? So what's left is negative 14 equal to negative 2. Does this one states a true statement? Of course, delete, because in reality, kanisha is not equal. So therefore, we can say that this one is not true. Okay? Dili siya tinuod. So if makasugat mo kay ani, now ang atong makonclude ni ani, okay? If we're going to write the solution, since based on our solution to diri pag solve nato is not true man ang resulta, so meaning ang possible class, kung ang possible aning answer kung makasugat mo ani is that we don't have a solution. Okay, no solution. So ating butang here, you need to put no solution. So meaning wala sila'y value nga magka-agree ning duha ka buok, no solution. And if we're going to interpret a system of equation that has no solution, okay, ang iyang interpretation ana, okay, ang iyang interpretation ana is inconsistent. So this is an inconsistent siya nga system of equation, or inconsistent siya nga solution. Now, we can also verify what makes it inconsistent. Nga nung wala siya solution, wala gid common aning duha. So para to prove that claim, now we're going to kanang prove this using our kanang graphing software. So balik ta sa atong Desmos. So in Desmos, inputting the first equation, 3x minus y is equal to negative 7. Then 6x minus 2y, 6x minus 2y is equal to negative 2. Okay, as you notice, as you can observe, both equations, they are parallel to each other. So meaning, there's no possibility nga magka-intersect gid siya. So meaning ay ang mga equation, system of equation, especially for two variables and two unknowns, they will become inconsistent if they are parallel to each other. Okay, kaya wa magid chance nga mag-intersect. And napoy another indication pod or another criteria para ma-determine dayon nga we don't have a solution for this by changing the form of our given. So diba, if we're going to transform our given into what we called slope intercept form. Okay, diba sa ato ang sa inyohang sa inyohang analytic kanang geometry, if namo ana, so I think nakasagot mo ng y is equals to mx plus b, wherein our m represents our slope, our b is the y-intercept. Now, for the first equation, itong given, that would be 3x minus y is equals to negative 7. So, transposing y on the other side, negative 7. You now have y is equals to 3x plus 7. Here, our slope is 3. And then, our kanang y-intercept is 7. Or ato ni usbon, can you see this is m, the slope. M is equals to 3. So here, tong findings for the first equation. about for the second. So ikaduha, we have here 6x minus 2y is equal to negative 2. So here, solving for y, we can transpose this y into the side and negative 2. So we now have 2y is equals to 6x plus 2. Now, I'm going to multiply both sides by 1/2, so that would be y is equals to 6 divided by 2 is 3, so that is 3x plus 1. So here, as you notice, mo ni hang mass, that is m is equals to 3. And this is its x-intercept b is equals to 1. So as you notice class, they have the same slope. Now, remember yung sa anang analytic geometry that if we have the same slope, meaning you are parallel to each other. Okay? Parallel mo to each other, and the parallel ng mga equations, they don't have a solution. Okay? Wala may common sila. So therefore, this one is an inconsistent solution. Next one. So we have here another example. So again, balik gihapon ta. So let's start with the first method. So again, choosing kung asay mas sayon nga i-manipulate. So here, I found out nga si x dito na ginusara wala siya coefficient. So ato piliyon si kanang first equation. So we have here, this is x plus 3y is equals to 2. Transposing on the other side to solve for x in terms of y, that would be 2 minus 3y. So here, I'm gonna label this as my equation 1. So what's next? Now, going to step 2. For step 2, jump over the second equation. So that is 2x plus 6y is equals to 4. So here na naman tayo value ni x, kana siya. So ato na siya ito i-kana substitute. In order to make our equation, 2 times 2 minus 3y plus 6y is equals to 4. So that would be 4 minus 6y plus 6y is equals to 4. So here, ang kitaan, this one, kani siya, we can kani, pwede na ito mabalhin. So, we can transpose 4 on the other side, so that negative 6y plus 6y, this would be 0y is equals to 4 minus 4. So therefore we have 0 is equals to 0. So here this is a true statement, but it doesn't mean that we have a value for x and y. So we don't have a value of x and y here, kay wala man marabag ni jump up ang siya nga 0 equals to 0, which is true. So we cannot say nga we don't have a solution. We have a solution for this one, but this would lang pag visualize kung pila, kung naabagid like unsa man, what number man. So here, kung ani ang case class, actually ang iyahang solution, so jump up dahil ta solution. So in this case, the solution here is infinite. So we have an infinite number of solutions. So why we have this infinite solution? It means that kanang daghay values sa x and sa y nga mo-satisfy sa atong given equations. And if this is our solution, therefore ang interpretation ay niya, so interpretation is that this is still consistent, because of course we have a known solution, so this should be consistent. So ito butang consistent na siya. This is consistent and isa pa, consistent and dependent. So unlike sa katong na ay naa sila solution, ang ilahang butang is consistent and independent. Here consistent and dependent. Why? Because the values of x and y, they don't have a definite value here. So nagkalaylahig gid kaayo, so man mag-agad on sa input sa tao. Let's say if we have a value of 4, what would be the corresponding value of our y? Now ato na i-try. Okay, kung gusto niyo ma-prove gid, now let's try. Okay, ato i-try gid. So let's try. Let's say maglet lang ko. Let's say I'm going to let x is equals to 6. Okay, and I'm gonna use the first equation. So I have here from first equation, so that is x plus 3y is equals to 2. So since si x mingon siya nga kanang kuan is equal to 6. Okay, 6 siya. So makaingon ta that would be 6 plus 3y is equals to 2. So muna siya. And then solving for y. So solving for y, put it as was on the other side, that would be 3y is equals to here nahimo na siyang 2 minus 6, and then divide by 3, so that is y is equals to 2 minus 6 is 4, so that would be negative 4 third. Okay, so therefore if our x is equals to 6, so our solution would be 6 and negative 4 and thirds. Actually not only kanang 6, not only negative 4 and third for y, actually kanang kuha na siya daghan siya variety since infinite solution man. So from negative infinity to positive infinity ay hatag nga integer ka na to. So basically ingana ko siya, you can also check this using equation 2. And para gid ma-prove na to at ma-verify, then let's graph this one in our online graphing calculator. Ato makita kung sa may behavior niya. Okay, 2x plus 6y is equals to 4. So ato ta. So our first equation, that is x plus 3y equal to 2. And then 2x plus 6y. So here 2x plus 6y is equals to 4. So as you notice class, we only have one line even if I inputted here 2 lines. Nawa si red nga naman because si blue nga line embed na siya sa ni red nga line. So therefore na kayo makita and yeah, daghan siya intersection class, meaning all these points along this line, these are the solution. So these are the solutions of the of our system of equation. So muna siya class kung consistent and consistent niya kanang independent. So muna siya para sa mga para sa mga naay kanang definite solution. But if you are consistent and dependent ra, so kanang magkan jud ka kana siya para na siya sa mga lines nga nagkan sila ni sana may align sila with each other, meaning they are collinear with each other because ang tanan since nagkadikit sila, so all the points connect them, so or nagrelate sila. So that's why we have kanang infinitely many solution for this example. So let's proceed to the next one. Again, method of substitution gihapon, but this time we are jumping to, as you notice na may nabantayan. So this is for simultaneous. So simultaneous nonlinear na siya, nonlinear equations. Okay, so again simultaneous linear equation because as you can see the second equation in our example is in quadratic formula siya. So here method of substitution gihapon. Let's start with the first procedure. So I'm gonna choose the first going to choose the first equation as my basis. So from the first equation na ako diri, this what that is x minus 2y is equals to 0. So I'm gonna solve x in terms of y here, so transpose that on the other side, that would be x is equals to 2y. So here I already have a value for our x in terms of y, and I'm going to label this one as equation 1. Okay, ako siya label as equation 1. Now since tapos na ta, so same pa rin for equation 2. So here we're going to focus our mind sa kanang ikaduhang equation. So that would be, okay, ikaduhang equation is that would be 3x minus y squared is equals to 0. So here si x equals to 2y daw. So we're gonna substitute the value of x in terms of y alone para natin makuha niya. So here, let's do this. So that would be 3 times 2y minus y squared is equals to 0. So here, this would be 6y is equals to y squared is equals to 0. Now, this is a quadratic. Okay? Naka-quadratic na siya, class. Kani siya, naka-quadratic na siya. Naka-quadratic na siya, class. So, 6y minus y squared is equals to 0. Now, we can directly substitute this one manually. Okay? Kaya pwede mo na itong factor ang y. So, that would be y times 6 minus y squared is equals to 0. So, therefore, we have two roots for here. Natay daw ka-solution ani for y. So, we have y1 is equals to 0. And then the other roots, ang uban nga roots, that is 6 minus y2 squared is equals to 0. So, transpose ang y2, transpose ang 0, that would be y2 squared is equals to, this one is, mahimo na siya, y2 squared is equals to 6. And then taking the square root both sides, that would be y2 is equals to, so that would be square root of 6. Okay, that is equal to square root of 6, or approximately 2.45. So muna itong value sa itong y equals 0, and then the next one is y is approximately 2.45. So ingana na siya ang pag-factor out. And then pag-solve for the quadratic. So follow gyapon to ito kalim dito to quadratic equation. So here ibalik na po ni siya substitute sa atong mga silingan, or ato i-substitute dire sa silingan niya nga equation. So mao ni siyang equation 1. So from equation 1 silingan sa equation 2. So we have from equation 1, so since we have two values for our y, so do you have, so diba daha na may kanang value sa atong y, so therefore automatic, I forgot kani siya ari, I forgot sa equation 2 di ay actually equation 2, sakto man day 3x, sakto man day. So, sakto, square root of 6 din na siya. Square root of 6 can, this is not square root of 6 di ay, kay supposedly y na lang ni siya. This is already y na lang, so we don't need square root of 6 anymore. So, we don't need square root of 6 anymore kay natanggal naman because we already factored that one out. So, it would now become like this. Kani 6 minus y na lang, so this would be 6 minus y, therefore y sub 2 is equal to 6. So we have two values for our y, automatic atong x pod na po two values, so that's why from equation 1 let's start, we have x equals to 2y at y sub 1 is equals to 0, so 0 lang sa, so that would be x sub 1 pod is equals to 2 times 0, that would be x sub 1 is equals to 0. And then another one, we also have x equals to 2y at y sub 2 is equals to 6. So here that is x is equals to 2 times 6. X is equals to 12. So therefore, our x sub 2 is here. So therefore, our solution, ito na kabuok. So solution. So our solution, we have the first one. Okay, pinakauna ato na siya i-ordered pair nga form. Pinakauna is 0, then y put is 0, and yung pangalawa, so that is x sub 2 is 12, and then y is 6. So this would be our solution. And if we're going to interpret this, so ato na po na siya interpret na po. Interpret. Now, since we have a different solution, so therefore we can say, okay, makaingin kita nga kani siya, this is a consistent, okay, consistent and independent. Independent identity naman nun. This is consistent and independent, meaning wa siya nakagad sa iyang mga values. Okay, and independent. Consistent and independent solution because we have two different solutions, 0, 0, 12, and 6. And if we're going to verify this, so para di na jud malibog, kasi malibugan pa mo, ato verify gid nga sakto gid ato ang na-solve. So we're going to graph this. Can safest gid ang pag-check gamit ang graph. Okay, in this graph, so I have x minus 2y, equals 0. Then 3x minus y squared, that is 3x minus y squared, that would be equal to 0. So here I have a parabola that opens to the right, and I have also a line here. So this line represents x minus 2y equals 0, and as you can see, we have two intersections. So meaning naputay duha ka solution. So the first is at the origin 0, 0. The second one is at 12, 6. So which is true. Sakto gid ito nakuha ang mga values. Pato ibalik, we have 12 and 6. So therefore, na-verified nato nga kani siya, these are really solutions to our simultaneous nonlinear equation. So this is consistent and independent. So let's have another one. So still method of substitution for systems of nonlinear equation. So here again, balik na punta. So choose ang simple lang, ang simple nga i-modify. So I'm gonna choose the first equation. So that would be is done. So this would be x minus y is equals to negative 1. And then transposing on the other side, we have x is equals to y minus 1. So here we already have our equation 1. So naka-generate na yung tag equation 1. Simple as that. And the next, we are going to proceed the second equation. So focus na punta sa ikaduhang equation. So the second equation we have here, x squared minus y is equals to negative 4. Okay, mo siya second equation. And since we already have a value for x, which is kani, diri so substitute that one on this side. So it will now become y minus 1 squared minus y is equals to negative 4. So here this would be y squared minus, okay, this would be y squared minus 2y plus 1 minus y is equals to negative 4. 4 na siya. So here, combining, so this should now become y squared minus 3y plus 1, then transfer on the other side, plus 4 is equals to kanang 0. So here, simplifying further, we have y squared minus 3y plus 5 is equals to 0. Here, para ma-verify nato that if na by chance nga ato na siyang ma-factor manually, now let's check for its discriminant. I hope naka-remember mo ng discriminant. So using the discriminant method, okay, using the discriminant method, especially for kanang kuan determinant of a matrix, and actually kani pong kuan po day, sorry, kanang discriminant is gamit ni siya sa quadratic equation. So katong, di ba, remember quadratic equation, negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac. So narito siya b squared minus 4ac, ito nga expression, which is very useful in which is kanang gamit kaayo sa pagtell kung whether ang kanang kana siya nga kuan kana siya nga equation or kana siya nga quadratic equation kay nabay solution or wala. So here we're going to use the discriminant. So discriminant is if b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, so then we have a real number. Okay, sakto siya. This is a good result, real number. And then the second one is we have b squared minus 4ac is less than 0. Okay, if that is less than 0, mag-negative na siya. So therefore, magka-imaginary na siya nga part. So imaginary. Okay, then the last one is b squared minus 4ac is kano siya greater than 0, because in here makalaro yun ka like or makakuha jud og value sa imong roots for quadratic equation. So since kani siya kato i-test, so b here is negative 3 times negative 3 positive 9 minus 4 times a is 1, c is 5, so that would be 9 minus 20. So this is not good. So meaning di siya kana siya sagol, meaning 9 minus 20 that is negative 11. So and then this one that is negative 11 is less than 0, so therefore imaginary ni siya. So let's just use our calculator. Okay, ato lang gamit itong calculator. So a is 1, b negative 3, c is 5, d 0. So we have itong kanon diri. Tulikon a is 1, b is negative 3, c is 5, b is 0. So we have here, okay, ito kitaan ha. So a is 1, b is negative 3, c is 5, okay, 5, and then d is 0. So kung yung nakita ato usbon, wait lang. So here by using quadratic equation, so magamit ang quadratic formula ni class atong quadratic equation in order to solve for the roots. So by using the quadratic formula, we have our first root y sub 1 is equal to 3 halves plus square root of 11 over 2i. So here we have duha ka type sa number here nga atong makita sa atong answer. So later na, so y sub 2 is equals to 3 halves. Actually these roots only differ with the sign, square root of 11 over 2i. So kani siya unsa may klase nga solution ni atong nakuha. Actually these are complex numbers. So complex numbers are made of kaning part. So what is this one? This is the real part, and then this one kaduha kaning nag-involve og y. These are imaginary numbers, imaginary part. Okay, so ang ato dayong solution is a complex number, so comprising of real numbers and imaginary numbers. So if we have two values for our y, so automatically understood na po nga duha po ang value sa atong x. Okay, because at step number 3 we're going to substitute our values for our x and y. So either of the two equations. So I'm gonna choose from equation 1. From equation 1, so I have here x is equals to y minus 1 at y sub 1 is equals to 3 halves plus square root of 11 over 2i. So that would be x is equals to 3 halves plus square root of 11 over 2i, then minus 1. So minus 1. So here in simplifying complex number class, you just combine real numbers with real numbers and imaginary numbers with imaginary numbers. So here, since we don't have any term that involves imaginary number, only this one, so therefore kanilang si 3 halves o si 1 na itong pwede combine because both of them are real numbers. So 3 halves minus 1 is the same as 1.5 minus 1, that is 0.5 or 1 half, plus square root of 11 over 2i. So therefore this would be our first value for our variable x. Now for the second one, again using the first gihapon nga equation, then at y sub 2 is equals to 3 halves, but this time minus square root of 11 over 2i. So substituting, we have x is equals to 3 halves minus square root of 11 over 2i minus 1. Again, just combine na gid sa combine na gid ang mga real numbers alone and imaginary for imaginary. So that would be 3 halves minus 1, again 1 half, so that would be 1 half minus square root of 11 over 2i. So therefore atong solution ni ani, okay, putan nimo therefore our solution would indicate that we have now a complex solution. Okay, so our complex solution in terms of ordered notation, x sub 1, again x sub 2 ni siya, x sub 1 is 1 half plus square root of 11 over 2i, then its y counterpart is 3 halves plus square root of 11 over 2i, and the second ang second nga solution, x sub 2, that is 1 half minus square root of 11 over 2i, and its corresponding y value, that is 3 halves minus square root of 11 over 2i. So basically ang ana siya, and then in interpreting this, okay, now this is still consistent and independent, but please emphasize that this one is a consistent, okay, consistent and independent, okay, consistent and independent, because atong mabasa ay ang solution na then duhan, then distinct and define kayo. So atong boundary is consistent and independent complex gyud dapat, complex solution. Okay, so on some day outcome aning naatay complex nga solution class. Actually it has a possibility that it will be not included sa kanang pag-graph na to sa Cartesian coordinate system, since ang existing na to nga Cartesian coordinate system iya ang mag-graph only for real numbers and not including sa mga imaginary numbers. Of course na pa ibang graphs na nag-involve sila imaginary numbers, but not very common. And then sa ato lang day ang atong makaya day is for real numbers. So let's try to verify class kung unsay kuan sa complex solution. So let's go to the Desmos. So x squared minus y is equals to negative 4. So nga sa Desmos, so the first equation is we have x minus y, so x minus y equals negative 1. Second one, we have x squared, so again a parabola minus y is equals to negative 4. As you notice, the parabola is nasa upper part while the line lower part o siya kabot sa parabola. So meaning what did sila intersection, and why is it that we arrive a equation for our function? Okay, nganong kanang kuan naka-arrive ba matag solution sa ato ang nonlinear function will in fact will am din naka-display diri lang intersection. Of course ato to i-display since complex man to nga solution. It's not only for real number solution. This comprise of real numbers, both real numbers and imaginary numbers. Or siya consistent and independent siya nga complex solution. So I hope inyo na nakanan catch up ni siya. And if na catch up, then let's proceed to the next one. So here method of substitution gihapon, but this time we have some logarithmic logarithmic expression. So this is a nonlinear since of this logarithm here. So again, balik na punta, unang buhaton for method of substitution, pick an equation that is easier to modify. So I'm going to pick the second one. Okay, this is a polynomial and then wala po siya other variables present. So I'm gonna choose the second equation. That would be the first one, the second, x squared minus 1 is equals to 0. Transposing the other side, that's be x squared is equals to 1. Taking the square root, so x pala is equals to positive 1 and x is equals to negative 1. So marag na siya. Since naman tayo value, then pwede na ni ilagay itong substitute. Okay, from equation from equation 1 tabalik. So from equation 1, so that would be log of x plus log of y is equals to 1. Actually, we cannot use this. This is null. Nganong null man ang solution yung negative because we don't have negative number in the logarithm. Negative numbers, because the logarithm of a negative numbers can either be imaginary or more or less mas worse pa siya types of number. Okay, so at this moment we're going to neglect this x is equals to negative 1 because di nidawaton sa kanina to expression, logarithmic expression. So just consider the positive. That's why I'm just considering this x is equals to 1. Maragini iyahang ultimate na value. Kaning usa negative, ignore na lang na. So substituting this one here sa tong log. So therefore that would be log of 1 plus log of y is equals to 1. So here you can transpose this log of 1 kay since kuha naman na siya, since constant naman siya, so you can transpose this on the right side, so that we now have log of y is equals to 1 minus log of 1. Here we are going to change this entire thing into an exponential form, diba? We all know that if we have the logarithm of an answer y with respect to b is equals to a. Actually, if we're going to change that one into exponential form, okay, ito siya change into exponential form. So that would be starting with the base. The base here is b. The exponent here is the answer of the logarithm, that is a. And then that would be equal to the number, that is y. Simple as that. So we're going to use that. We're going to apply this in our problem. So that would be y is equals to 10 raised to 1 minus log of 1. Okay, so muna siya ang pag solve for y. So that would be 10 raised to the power of 1 minus the log of 1. So that would be equal to 10. Okay, log of 1 is 0. Log of 1 is 0 mo din. So therefore our y here is equals to 10. Now we already have a solution. So not a solution. So therefore solution we have an ordered pair, that is x1 and then y is equals to 10. So mara siya ang solution. And then if we're going to interpret this one, so interpretation, so since definite man itong number sa solution, So this would be consistent and independent. So yeah, plus, and let's try to visualize this using our Desmos nga online calculator. Okay, ano siya i-try. So let's go to our site, sa site. So here we are. So we have log of x plus log of y equals 1. The second is x squared minus 1 is equals to 0. X squared minus 1 is equal to 0. So as you notice class, na ay do ka lines ang atong second equation. Straight siya, then tapos siya other side. Katong mga negative. Then as you notice, this is the intersection. So the intersection is at actually this one di man gud matupong. Actually that is 10. So so kana man siya ang point of intersection 1 and kanang 10. Our x is 1, y is 10. So therefore ito na prove siya. As you notice ang algorithm kay kaning orange wag siya hingpa sa negative side. Asymptotic ra siya hanggang sa sa y axis. So di siya pwede negative. Naman ito ang atong answer, which is the intersection. That is 1 and 10. 1 and 10 ang intersection niya. Okay, so let's go back. So we're now moving on to method of elimination. To the method of elimination, this is a straightforward method. Unlike the substitution kay kung man siya mag-eliminate ta og usa ka variable, and then we're going to solve the remaining variable, which is usa na lang pod. And after that, now i-substitute na lang either of these two equations in order to solve again the unknown variable nga katong na-ignore ganiha. And then for method of elimination class, actually it really works best for system of linear equation, especially for two variables. And medyo dili kani siya epektibo for nonlinear because there are some cases where nonlinear lisod emerge. Let's say if we have a polynomial nga nonlinear o kanang logarithmic or even trigonometric, so lisod ka na pag-unit sa ilang curve. Siguro magamit kag Taylor series para ni ana. So anyway, higher math man to siya. So here ang method of elimination, mo na siya ang iyang procedure. So for method of elimination, the procedure is first kopyaha ang kuan given, going to copy the given 2x minus 4y is equal to negative 7, then 5x plus y is equal to negative 1. So here our goal is to eliminate one of the variables. So let's say I'm going to eliminate y, but how? Since naanata diri negative 4, if we're going to multiply, okay, if I'm going to multiply 4 in the second equation positive, so magiging negative 4 plus 4, that would be 0, right? So therefore ma-eliminate din nato. So multiply both sides by 4 to now become 2x minus 4y equals to negative 7, and then here this is 20x plus 4y is equals to negative 4. Here add both sides, that would be 22x, this would become 0, that is equal to negative 12. And then divide both sides by 22. Now our x is equals to, so our x now, I mean sorry, this is not 12, 11 na eh, negative 11 na siya, negative 11 over 22, tama ba? Okay, so therefore our x here is negative 11 over 22, or that is negative 1/2. So x is negative 1/2. Now kani siyang answer, you're going to substitute this x either of these two equations and then solve for y na. Okay, kaya na siya. Kaduha, now I'm going to choose equation 2 na lang kay medyo madali ta. So that would be 5x plus y is equals to negative 1. So x here is negative 1 half, that would be 5, negative 1 half, then plus y is equals to negative 1. So here, solving for y class, so that would be y is equals to, we have here 5 times 1 half minus 1 half. So this would be equal to 5 halves minus 1. The answer is 3 halves. Y pala is equals to 3 halves. Maka 3 halves ni siya. So we have a solution, x equals to 1 half. Okay, we have a solution that is x equals to negative 1 half, and then y is equals to 3 halves. Okay, so inara, and then so pag-interpret na yan so if we're going to interpret this, actually, since definite man yung solution and still a real number, so therefore this is a consistent and independent. Okay, independent. So ayan na siya. And if kung pa gyud kanang dili pa ka sure, so pwede gina nimo ma-verify sa atong graphing calculator. So this is 5x plus y equals to negative 1. So ato na siya ngadto sa atong graphing calculator. Let's see ano yan na i-behavior. So we have here 2x minus 4y. 2x minus 4y equals negative 7. Second one, we have 5x plus y. So we have 5x plus y equals negative 1. So here, mana to solution. So kaning intersection niya. Actually, that is negative 1 half, negative 0.5, and 1/5 katong 3 halves. So therefore, correcta sa to ang solution, which is kanang negative 1 half and 3/5. So mana siya, and then let's go to the second example for the method of elimination. So again, sa method of elimination, the first step is ilista sa nimong duha ka variables, and I mean the two equations same sa ilista. So we have here so good so that would be x minus 2y is equals to 3, then negative 2x plus 4y is equals to 1. Here, if I'm going to multiply 2 on the first, okay, on the first kanang first equation, so if I'm going to multiply that one by 2, what happens next is we have 2x minus 4y is equals to 6. Then we have negative 2x plus 4y is equals to 1. So here, we can just directly add. So kani si 2x, 0 na ni, kani pud siya, and then 6 minus 1, that is 5. So therefore, mahimo na ni siya og 0 is not equal to 7. Okay, 0 not equal to 7. So what happens if nakasagatag yan since 0 is not equal to 7, so this is not true. Okay, so dili siya tinuod. So unsa atong buhatan so most probably kani siya is ang atong solution is, since not true man, diba same kaganiha, so this is the case, so therefore our solution is unsa man, our solution is null, or we don't have solution, so no solution. Then actually we don't have a solution, so sa pag-interpret ana. Okay, so on sa interpretation, if we have no solution, ang implementation is that the solution of this system equation is inconsistent. Okay, inconsistent. Ano siya class, and ato na siya i-verify na pod using our Desmos nga graphing calculator. Okay, so ito ta ato kitaan. So here magunta na po tag input. This time we have x minus 2y. X minus 2y equals 3. Then the next one we have negative 2x plus 4y, negative 2x plus 4y, that's equal to 1. So you notice they are parallel to each other, so meaning they don't have any common points. So therefore sakto yun ang nakuhaan nga kanang kuhaan gid siya null ang solution, meaning doesn't have any solution, no solution, therefore inconsistent siya because of this statement 0 is not equal to 7. So mara siya class mabantayan sa method of elimination. Let's proceed to the final, what is known as the graphical method. So nganong gi-apply na ko since gamit ni siya, so atong gibuhat pag katong nag-interpret kita ganiha nagamit og graphing calculator. Actually isa to sa mga example sa paggamit ani nga method graphical. Okay, so for in graphical method class gamit kay ni siya especially for nonlinear equations nga dili sila mag-match, di sila compatible. So unsa ni siya, let's say if you are given a polynomial of higher degree and then another one is sine function, next one is logarithm, so mga nagkalahi ba na sila nga mga function. So meaning di na nimo directly nga ma-substitute and ma-solve for x only or y only tungod sa ilahang mga kuan. So therefore what you need to do here, if dili madaog solve og manual, then i-graph gid sila. So unang buhatan is we're going to graph each equations here. So starting from y is equal to sin x, so this time imo ni siya i-graph. The next kani siya i-graph pud ni. So this is a linear equation. So i-graph gifon ni siya. And then after graphing, ato i-locate ang point of intersection. Okay? Point of intersection. So nganon di gani siya ma-solve manually kay let's say silang ha, if we're going to use the method of substitution. Okay, for the method of substitution, so we already now have y as a function of sin x. That is y is equals to sin x. And here in equation 2, so yung ikuan that is 4y minus 3x is equals to 2. So since naman si y, so that would be 4 times sin x minus 3x is equal to 2. So here it would very hard for us to convert nga ang sine of the angle x mumatches na po siya sa polynomial nga negative 3x. Okay, so muna siya. So since this is very hard, then we can graph na lang this. So ato na i-graph. Okay, ato na i-graph ha. So mahimon siya ato sa Desmos. So again dito masangit. Di mo rin siya yung factor out kaya siyang polynomial trigonometric. Di po makombine kay pod kanang angle ni siya kan siya kay naka-region ni 3x. So lisod kayo. So therefore gamit ta sa Desmos. So nako sa Desmos, then ako i-input ang una ang trigonometric function y is equal to sin x. Then the next one is we have 4y minus 3x. 4y minus 3x is equals to, this one is 2. So as you notice class, it intersects in quadrant 3. So the point of intersection is negative 1.92 and negative 0.94. So therefore nisugat siya ana. So kita ang sine wave ha. So pagkasugat niya mato natay value sa atong x and y, therefore the solution from the intersection na siya ha. Sa kaduha, solution from the intersection based atong graph, we have our solution negative 0. Kana siya baliktad sa medesmos. So here that is negative 1.92 and 0.94, so this would become negative 1.92. This is 1.92 and 0.94. Okay, so mao na siya ang solution sa ato ang given nga kanang nonlinear equation using graphical method. So napalaban ng tag software ni ini. And then if we're going to interpret this, so if we're going to interpret this, actually ano na siya, so this is consistent and independent. Okay, because we only have exactly one solution, so therefore consistent and independent ni siya nga kanang solution for our given simultaneous nonlinear equation. So thank you for listening, and i-follow na lang ang module 9 lesson 2. So have a nice day.